As the first rays of sunlight spill across the endless plains of East Africa, the savannah awakens to a symphony of life. Here, beneath the vast sky, a breathtaking spectacle of survival and cooperation unfolds each day, a living tapestry woven from the intricate relationships between its wild inhabitants. The Great Migration is more than a journey. It is a ceaseless, circular odyssey of over 2 million animals, each driven by the ancient pulse of the seasons. This immense movement is orchestrated by the rains, which paint the land with fresh growth and beckon the herds onward. Far from chaos, the migration is a marvel of order. Wildebeest and zebra move in coordinated waves, their senses attuned to the subtlest cues, a flick of an ear, a shift in the wind, the distant rumble of thunder promising rain. At the forefront, zebras lead with confidence. Their bold stripes ripple in the shimmering air, a living mirage that confuses would-be predators and signals unity within the herd. In their wake, the wildebeest follow, a relentless tide of muscle and determination. Their guttural calls form a constant resonant chorus, echoing across the plains and binding the herd together. The migration is a quest for sustenance, a race to find the tender emerald shoots that spring up after the rains. Every mouthful of grass is a victory in the ongoing struggle for survival. This grand drama has played out for countless generations. The land itself bears the scars and memories of migrations past, ancient trails etched into the earth, silent witnesses to the enduring pulse of life. The savannah thrives on alliances. Zebras and wildebeest graze side by side, their partnership a masterclass in natural symbiosis. Even smaller creatures like gazelles and birds find their place in this intricate web, each benefiting from the presence of the others. Rather than competing, these animals complement one another. Zebras graze on the tougher, taller grasses, exposing the tender shoots beneath for the wildebeest, while birds like oxpeckers ride their hosts of pests, gaining food and offering relief in return. Zebras act as the vanguard, their keen eyesight and sharp senses detecting threats long before they reach the herd. Their leadership is vital, guiding the migration safely through the unpredictable wilderness. Their powerful jaws and specialized teeth allow them to break down the coarse, fibrous grasses that others cannot digest, clearing the way for more delicate grazers. As zebras trim the tall grasses, they create a path for the wildebeest, who eagerly consume the lush, nutrient-rich blades now exposed. This succession grazing ensures that both species thrive, each playing a crucial role in the health of the ecosystem. For the wildebeest, these tender shoots are a lifeline. Packed with energy and moisture, they fuel the relentless march across the savannah. Calves learn from their elders, guided to the richest patches by gentle nudges and soft calls. The scale of this migration is staggering, ribbons of life stretching from horizon to horizon, shifting and flowing like water across the land. Each animal is a single thread in a vast, living tapestry. This is the largest overland migration on Earth, a river of bone, sinew, and determination, surging across hundreds of miles of untamed wilderness, overcoming every obstacle in its path. The air shimmers with dust, kicked up by millions of hooves. This golden haze drifts for miles, marking the passage of the herds and painting the savannah in ethereal light. This moving multitude forms a mobile ecosystem, drawing predators from far and wide. Lions, cheetahs, and hyenas shadow the herds, their presence a constant reminder of the delicate balance between hunter and hunted. For the grazers, safety lies in numbers. By clustering tightly, they reduce the odds of any one individual falling prey, overwhelming the hunting capacity of even the most skilled predators. Yet, danger is never far. Treacherous river crossings await, where crocodiles lie in ambush and the current itself can claim the unwary. The journey is a relentless ordeal, testing every ounce of strength and endurance. Only the most resilient will reach the lush grasslands that promise renewal and rest. Even the ground beneath their feet is fraught with peril. Rocky outcrops, hidden holes, and thorny undergrowth threaten every step, and a single misstep can spell disaster for the unwary. The youngest, oldest, and weakest are most at risk. As the herd surges forward, those who falter become easy targets for the ever-watchful predators that follow in their wake. Here, every moment is a test. A single lapse, a stumble, or a moment's hesitation can mean the difference between life and a swift, brutal end. On the savannah, survival is earned through resilience, cooperation, and the remarkable alliances that bind its wild inhabitants together. The Mara River, winding like a serpent through the heart of Africa, stands as the most daunting barrier in the path of the Great Migration. Its steep, eroded banks and unpredictable currents form a natural gauntlet, a crucible where only the most resilient survive. For the herds of wildebeest, zebra, and gazelle, the Mara is both a promise and a threat. The parched plains behind them offer only dust and hunger, while the lush grasslands beyond the river beckon with the hope of renewal. Yet the river itself is a test of instinct, endurance, and sheer will. As thousands of animals converge on the river's edge, the air vibrates with tension. Wildebeest press forward, their bodies packed tightly, nostrils flaring as they scent the water and the dangers it conceals. The dust churned by their hooves hangs thick, veiling the scene in a haze of anticipation. Instinct wars with caution. The lead animals peer into the swirling brown water, their ears flicking at every splash. Some paw at the ground, torn between the urge to cross and the primal fear of what lies beneath. Hours stretch into days as the herd mills in restless agitation. The pressure mounts until, at last, a single wildebeest, driven by hunger, thirst, or the press of bodies behind, leaps forward. In an instant the dam breaks, and the herd surges after, a living torrent pouring down the bank. The crossing erupts into chaos. Hooves churn the water into froth, and the riverbank collapses under the weight of the stampede. Animals jostle and collide, each desperate to reach the far shore before exhaustion or fate claims them. The current is merciless, tugging at legs and sweeping away the weak. Wildebeest swim with heads held high, nostrils barely above the surface, their eyes wide with terror and determination. Some are swept downstream, forced to battle the river's pull or risk being dashed against hidden rocks. Panic ripples through the herd. Calves, smaller and less experienced, struggle to keep pace, their bleats lost in the cacophony. Mothers bellow, searching for their young, amid the roiling mass, while older animals use their bulk to shield the vulnerable from the crush. The density of bodies becomes its own hazard. Animals stumble and fall, trampled beneath the relentless tide. Some, caught in the press, are forced under, their struggles unseen beneath the churning water. Calves separated from their mothers call out in distress, their cries echoing across the river. Some are swept away, while others cling to the flanks of unrelated adults, seeking any protection in the chaos. Many will not make it. The river claims the exhausted, the injured, and the unlucky. Some collapse on the far bank, spent from the ordeal, while others are lost to the depths, their journey ending in silence. For those who survive, the ordeal leaves them trembling and weak, but alive. The crossing is a crucible, stripping away the frail and rewarding only the most tenacious, with the promise of new grazing grounds. Yet the river's perils are not limited to water and current. Beneath the opaque surface, ancient predators lie in wait. Crocodiles, perfectly camouflaged, drift with the current, their eyes and nostrils barely breaking the surface. These Nile crocodiles, some over 5 meters long, are relics of a prehistoric world. Their patience is legendary. They can remain motionless for hours, conserving energy for the brief, explosive violence of the hunt. As the herds cross, crocodiles position themselves strategically, using the confusion and density of animals to their advantage. They target the weak, the isolated, and the distracted, striking with astonishing speed. With a sudden surge, a crocodile lunges from the depths, jaws agape. The water erupts in a violent struggle as predator and prey thrash in a deadly embrace. The crocodile's armored tail propels it with force, while its jaws clamp down with bone-crushing power. A single bite can end a life in seconds. The crocodile's grip is unyielding, and once caught, few escape. The river becomes a stage for these ancient hunters, their tactics honed by millennia of survival. The aftermath is a grim feast. Crocodiles tear into their prize, their powerful jaws rending flesh and bone. The water runs red as they gorge, each kill sustaining them through the lean months ahead. Not all who perish are claimed by crocodiles. Some carcasses drift downstream, becoming lifelines for a host of scavengers. The riverbank teems with life, each species playing its part in the cycle of consumption and renewal. The Mara's ecosystem is a tapestry woven from countless interactions. Every fallen animal nourishes the land and water, supporting a web of life that extends far beyond the crossing itself. Beneath the surface, fish and aquatic invertebrates swarm to feed on the remains, breaking down flesh and bone into nutrients that sustain the river's hidden world. On the banks, vultures and marabou storks descend in raucous flocks. Their sharp beaks and keen eyes make quick work of the carcasses, ensuring that little is wasted. Their presence is vital, preventing disease and returning nutrients to the soil. Even the smallest creatures benefit. Invertebrates and microorganisms thrive on the detritus, fueling a chain of life that ripples outward through the ecosystem. As dawn breaks over the Mara, the river glistens with the promise of another day. Here, life and death are inseparable, each crossing a testament to the relentless drive to survive. The Mara River is not merely an obstacle, it is the heart of a living, breathing wilderness where every peril shapes the destiny of those who dare to cross. As the battered survivors of the river crossing haul themselves onto the muddy banks of the Masai Mara, their ordeal is far from over. The air is thick with tension, every sense sharpened by the knowledge that the next threat is already watching. They have entered a domain where survival is dictated by the prowess of apex predators, creatures whose very existence shapes the rhythm of life across these endless plains. The lionesses, regal and relentless, are the architects of the hunt. With silent signals and unwavering focus, they fan out, using the undulating grass as cover, their golden coats blending seamlessly with the landscape. Riverbanks become natural choke points where the exhausted and the unwary are most vulnerable. Lionesses exploit every curve and shadow, orchestrating ambushes with precision honed by generations of survival. A solitary adult wildebeest separated from the herd becomes the focus of their strategy, a living prize whose capture will sustain the pride and fuel the next cycle of life and death. The male lions, their manes dark and imposing, are more than mere figureheads. They patrol the boundaries, their roars echoing across the plains, a warning to rivals and a reassurance to their pride. When the quarry is formidable, these kings join the hunt, their brute force tipping the balance. Yet, the savannah is not ruled by lions alone. The art of predation here is as varied as the predators themselves, each species carving out its own niche in this intricate web. The leopard, elusive and solitary, is the embodiment of stealth. It glides through the undergrowth, every step calculated, every movement masked by the dappled light filtering through the canopy. Patient beyond measure, the leopard waits, sometimes for hours, hidden in the dense riverine foliage or poised on a branch above a game trail. Its camouflage is so perfect that prey often passes within meters, oblivious to the danger. When the moment comes, the leopard strikes with explosive speed and surgical precision, closing the distance in a heartbeat and dispatching its prey before a cry can escape. To safeguard its kill from the ever-watchful eyes of hyenas and lions, the leopard relies on sheer strength, hauling its prize, sometimes heavier than itself, into the safety of the treetops, where only the wind and the vultures bear witness. On the open plains, a different drama unfolds. Here, speed is the ultimate weapon, and the cheetah is its undisputed master. With a body built for acceleration, the cheetah scans the horizon, every muscle primed for the chase. Its amber eyes track the slightest movement, calculating distance and opportunity. In a breathtaking burst, the cheetah launches forward, spine flexing like a whip, legs stretching impossibly far. For a few electrifying seconds, it becomes a blur, faster than any other creature on land. Some males, bound by blood, form coalitions, rare alliances that allow them to tackle larger prey and defend their hard-won meals from rivals. Their teamwork is a marvel of instinct and cooperation. The lone female, however, must rely on her own cunning. She stalks the grasslands alone, every hunt a test of endurance and timing, every meal a victory against the odds. She often hunts under the relentless midday sun, when the heat keeps larger predators at bay. But the aftermath is fraught with peril. Her slender frame no match for the brute force of lions or the cunning persistence of hyenas, who may steal her prize before she can recover from the chase. The spotted hyena, so often misunderstood, is a paragon of adaptability. Its eerie calls echo at dusk, signaling the presence of a predator as intelligent as it is formidable. Far from being mere scavengers, hyenas are skilled hunters in their own right. Working in tightly knit groups, they execute complex strategies, using endurance and teamwork to exhaust and overpower prey much larger than themselves. Their social structure is intricate, with clans led by powerful matriarchs. Cooperation is key. Each member plays a role, from scouts to enforcers, ensuring the clan's dominance over territory and food. Their jaws are unmatched, capable of crushing bone and devouring every scrap. Nothing is wasted. Even the toughest remains are consumed, recycling nutrients back into the ecosystem. Completing this formidable guild are the African wild dogs, masters of endurance and cooperation. Their hunts are ballets of coordination, each member anticipating the next move, their relentless pursuit yielding one of the highest success rates in the animal kingdom. In this realm, every predator is both hunter and hunted, each playing a vital role in the eternal balance of the wild. As the weeks slip into months, the Masai Mara transforms before our eyes, its very character shifting with the relentless march of time. The once lush, emerald paradise that welcomed the great herds begins to wither beneath the unyielding African sun, the promise of abundance fading with every passing day. The dry season asserts its dominance, tightening its grip on the land and draining the life from the soil. Grasses, once vibrant, now stand brittle and yellow, while waterholes, lifelines for all, shrink to muddy, contested pits, drawing desperate wildlife into uneasy proximity. For the predators, this stark transformation brings new obstacles. The thinning cover strips away their advantage, exposing them to the vigilant eyes of their quarry. Lions and cheetahs, once masters of stealth, now find themselves vulnerable, forced to cross open ground where every movement is scrutinized. The element of surprise, so vital for a successful hunt, becomes a rare luxury in this unforgiving expanse. Yet, as the landscape shifts, so too does the balance of power. The prey, once scattered and vulnerable, now stand united and alert, their senses sharpened by hardship. Having survived the gauntlet of migration and the relentless pursuit of predators, these animals are transformed, battle-hardened, emboldened, and fiercely protective. No longer mere targets, they have become warriors, each herd member a sentinel, each movement a calculated act of survival. Take the adult zebra. Its muscular frame and unyielding spirit make it a formidable adversary. When threatened, zebras form tight-knit groups, presenting a wall of hooves and teeth to any would-be attacker. A single defensive kick from a zebra can unleash nearly 3,000 newtons of force, enough to shatter bone and turn the tables on even the most determined predator. For a cheetah whose very existence depends on flawless speed, a broken limb is a slow, inescapable death sentence, a testament to the risks of underestimating the hunted. Even the mighty lion, ruler of these plains, must now weigh each hunt with caution. The prey have learned to stand their ground, and the cost of a miscalculation can be fatal. Wildebeest and buffalo, often dismissed as easy targets, reveal a different side, one of unity and defiance. Cape buffalo, with their massive horns and indomitable bulk, are notorious for their aggressive defense. They will charge as a unit, scattering lions and sometimes even fatally wounding their attackers. Wildebeest, too, employ remarkable tactics, forming defensive circles, calves shielded at the center, adults brandishing sharp horns and trampling any predator reckless enough to breach their ranks. Each failed hunt leaves predators not only hungry but often wounded, reminders that every meal is hard-won and every hunt a gamble with life and death. The climax of the dry season is not just a test of endurance but a celebration of resilience. Prey animals gather at the remaining waterholes, their survival a testament to their collective strength and ingenuity. Their bodies bear the scars of battle, but their eyes reflect a fierce determination. They have adapted, learned, and survived against overwhelming odds. Mothers shield their young, elders lead with experience, and every member of the herd plays a role in the intricate choreography of defense, alert calls, coordinated movements, and unwavering vigilance. The predators, meanwhile, grow leaner and more cautious, their hunger sharpened by the prey's newfound resolve. Each encounter becomes a tense standoff, a battle of wits and willpower, where the outcome is never certain and the cost of failure is steep. This is not a simple tale of hunter and hunted, but a dynamic, ever-evolving contest of strategy and adaptation. Here, survival is earned through courage, intelligence, and the unbreakable spirit that drives every creature across these timeless plains. As November approaches, the Serengeti breathes with anticipation. The air grows heavy with promise, and a subtle shift ripples across the endless grasslands. The wind, once dry and restless, now carries the scent of distant rain from the southern skies. This is the first whisper of renewal, a signal that echoes through the hearts of millions of animals. For the great herds of wildebeest, zebra, and gazelle, this change is instinctively understood. The time has come to begin the long journey home. The same primal urge that once drove them northward now calls them back, compelling them to retrace their steps across the vast, unforgiving plains. Over 1.5 million wildebeest, joined by hundreds of thousands of zebra and antelope, surge southward in a living tide, their hooves drumming a rhythm as old as the land itself. The journey is arduous. The earth beneath them is cracked and parched. The grass is brittle from months of relentless sun. Yet the promise of rain and renewal drives them onward. Once again, they must brave the Mara River, its currents swollen and treacherous, a gauntlet where only the determined survive. Each animal is driven by a force deeper than hunger, an ancient biological imperative to return to the birthplace of their kind, to ensure the survival of their lineage. As the herds reach the southern Serengeti, the landscape transforms. The rains have returned, painting the plains in vibrant greens and awakening dormant life. The rejuvenated grasslands become a stage for fierce competition. Here, the cycle of life intensifies as males vie for dominance and the right to breed. Rival males, their bodies honed by migration, face off in primal contests. Each battle is a test of strength, stamina, and will. Among the zebras, stallions clash with explosive violence, biting and kicking in a struggle that determines the future of their bloodline. The victors claim their harems while the defeated retreat, their hopes dashed for another season. Wildebeest bulls lock horns, their contests echoing across the plains. They push and shove, muscles straining, each determined to prove his worth as a sire. These battles are not mere displays. They are matters of life and death, shaping the very fabric of the next generation. Only the strongest, most resilient males will pass on their genes, ensuring that the legacy of survival continues. As the dust settles, the plains await a miracle, one of the greatest spectacles in the animal kingdom. In perfect synchrony, thousands of wildebeest mothers give birth within a narrow window of time, flooding the plains with new life. The Serengeti becomes a vast nursery, dotted with the unsteady forms of newborn calves. In just a few weeks, nearly 500,000 calves are born, each one a testament to the resilience of life. This synchronized birth is a calculated survival strategy, overwhelming predators with sheer numbers and giving each calf a fighting chance. Lions, hyenas, and other predators prowl the edges, but the abundance of prey means many calves will survive the onslaught. The herd forms a living shield, mothers fiercely protective, encircling their young against the ever-present threat. The volcanic soils of the Serengeti, enriched by ancient eruptions, nourish the grass, which in turn sustains the mothers and their calves. The milk produced is rich and vital, packed with nutrients essential for rapid growth and strong bones. Within days, the calves grow stronger, their legs steady, their bodies built for endurance and speed. From the moment of birth, survival demands urgency. Calves must stand within minutes, their instincts guiding them to their mothers and the safety of the herd. Their first steps are tentative, but necessity breeds strength. Soon, they are able to keep pace with the moving herd. Within an hour, many calves can run, their survival hinging on their ability to stay with the group and evade predators. This remarkable precocity is a product of evolution, a necessity in a world where danger lurks at every turn. Among the zebra herds, the cycle of renewal is shadowed by a harsher reality. When a new stallion seizes control of a harem, the fate of the foals born to his predecessor hangs in the balance. The new male may kill the young foals, a brutal act that brings the mares back into estrus, allowing him to sire his own offspring. Though harsh, this strategy is rooted in the relentless drive to propagate one's own genes, a stark reminder of nature's impartiality. The mares, ever vigilant, adapt to these changes, their lives shaped by the cycles of dominance and renewal. The new stallion asserts his place, ensuring that his lineage will continue, his legacy written in the stripes of the next generation. In the Serengeti, every birth, every struggle, and every victory is part of a grand cycle, a testament to the enduring power of rebirth and renewal in one of the world's most dynamic ecosystems. In the far reaches of southwestern Africa, the Namib Desert stretches endlessly, a place where the very definition of survival is rewritten each day. Here the land is ancient, shaped by relentless winds and searing sun, its surface a tapestry of ochre dunes and barren gravel plains. The Namib is not just one of the oldest deserts on Earth, it is also among the driest, with annual rainfall so scarce that every living thing must seize even the faintest hint of moisture to endure. Temperatures here are merciless, soaring above 113 degrees Fahrenheit by day, then plunging to near freezing at night. The soil cracks under the weight of the sun, and the air shimmers with heat. Yet, in this harsh crucible, life persists, each species a master of adaptation, each day a test of resilience. Among the most remarkable survivors are the desert-adapted elephants. Unlike their savanna relatives, these giants have evolved leaner bodies and elongated legs, allowing them to traverse vast distances in search of food and water. Their feet are broader, spreading their weight so they can move silently across shifting sands. Each step is guided by an inherited memory, a mental map of waterholes, some hidden beneath the sand, others revealed only after years of drought. The matriarch leads her family with unwavering determination, recalling the locations of water sources that may not have flowed for decades. When the rivers run dry, these elephants dig deep into the parched earth, unearthing hidden reserves of water that sustain not only themselves but countless other creatures. The black rhino, another icon of the Namib, is a living relic of a prehistoric world. Its thick skin shields it from thorny scrub and the relentless sun, while its prehensile lip allows it to pluck the toughest desert shrubs. These rhinos can survive for days without drinking, extracting precious moisture from the succulent plants that dot the landscape. Their diet includes the toxic Euphorbia damarana, a plant so poisonous that few other animals dare to touch it. Yet the black rhino's digestive system has evolved to neutralize its toxins, turning a deadly plant into a vital source of hydration and sustenance. Even the smallest inhabitants are marvels of adaptation. The Namib desert beetle, for example, climbs to the crest of dunes at dawn, angling its body to capture the faint morning fog. Tiny droplets condense on its back, trickling down to its mouth, a life-saving drink in a waterless world. Lizards, meanwhile, bask on sun-warmed rocks, their scales reflecting heat and their bodies capable of withstanding dramatic temperature swings. The puff adder, a master of stealth, lies motionless among the gravel, its cryptic pattern rendering it nearly invisible. In a flash, it can strike at unsuspecting prey, delivering venom that quickly incapacitates. Above, the martial eagle rides the thermals, its vast wings casting shadows over the sand. With eyesight sharp enough to spot a lizard from hundreds of feet above, it is the undisputed aerial hunter of the Namib. Every creature here is shaped by the relentless demands of the desert. Some, like the martial eagle, have evolved to soar for hours without rest, conserving energy as they search for the faintest sign of movement below. Others, like the beetle and the rhino, have mastered the art of extracting water from the most unlikely sources. In the Namib, survival is not just a matter of endurance, it is a daily triumph of ingenuity, adaptation, and the unbreakable will to live. Leaving behind the sun-scorched plains of Africa, our journey plunges into the boundless blue wilderness of the world's oceans, a domain where the laws of survival are rewritten, and the largest creatures ever to exist glide through the depths with silent majesty. Here, whales are the undisputed titans, masters of a world shaped by currents, sound, and migration. Whales are divided into two principal groups, each with its own evolutionary marvels. Toothed whales, dolphins, orcas, and sperm whales are agile predators, orchestrating complex hunts and forming dynamic alliances within their pods. Baleen whales, including the immense blue and acrobatic humpback, are gentle giants, filtering vast quantities of krill and small fish with their baleen plates. These intelligent, air-breathing mammals have colonized every oceanic realm, from the balmy equatorial waters teeming with life to the ice-laden polar seas, where only the hardiest survive. Their existence is a tapestry woven from epic migrations, intricate social bonds, and a language of sound that echoes across entire ocean basins. In the deep, communication is everything. Whales compose elaborate vocalizations, songs and calls, each unique to species, pod, and even individual. These sounds can traverse thousands of miles, connecting distant individuals and coordinating group behaviors. The ocean's acoustic clarity transforms it into a vast, resonant amphitheater where information and emotion travel on invisible waves. Toothed whales have evolved a sophisticated sonar, echolocation, enabling them to see with sound. By emitting rapid clicks and interpreting the returning echoes, they construct detailed mental maps of their surroundings, detecting prey and obstacles with astonishing precision. This adaptation allows them to hunt and navigate in the pitch-black depths where sunlight never penetrates. In these shadowy realms, orcas coordinate silent attacks, while sperm whales descend to crushing depths in search of elusive prey. The sperm whale's clicks are the loudest biological sounds on Earth, reaching up to 230 decibels, powerful enough to disorient or even stun prey in the abyssal dark. In the silent ballet of predator and prey, the sperm whale's sonic arsenal is a decisive advantage against the giant squid, locked in a timeless struggle far below the waves. Life in the ocean demands extraordinary physiological feats. Whales surface to breathe, exhaling with a thunderous spout through their blowhole, a single nostril evolved for efficiency. In mere seconds, they exchange nearly 90% of the air in their lungs, saturating their blood with oxygen for the next dive. This remarkable adaptation enables dives lasting from minutes to hours, depending on the species and their needs. The Cuvier's beaked whale is the undisputed champion, capable of vanishing into the abyss for over 3 hours on a single breath. It has been recorded plunging to depths approaching 2 miles, where pressure would crush most other life. Down here, in the twilight zone, these whales navigate by memory and sound, tracing ancient migratory routes. Even rest is adapted to this aquatic world. Whales practice unihemispheric sleep, shutting down one half of their brain at a time, allowing them to remain partially alert, surface for air, and monitor their surroundings for threats. This vigilance is essential in a world where danger can come from any direction at any moment. The social and migratory lives of whales are as complex as any on Earth. Humpback whales, for example, form fluid social groups, exchanging songs and behaviors that evolve over time and distance. They employ bubble net feeding, a sophisticated cooperative strategy where individuals spiral upward, releasing curtains of bubbles to trap and concentrate prey. This teamwork requires precise timing and communication, with each whale playing a specific role in the hunt. Many species live in enduring family units or pods, where individuals recognize each other by voice and maintain lifelong bonds. The birth of a calf is a monumental event. A mother gives birth to a single, massive offspring after a gestation lasting up to 18 months. The calf is nourished by milk so rich in fat that it transforms the young whale, fueling rapid growth and insulating it against the cold. In just a single day, a blue whale calf can gain up to 200 pounds, preparing for the long migrations ahead. Playful behaviors, leaping, rolling, and tail slapping are not only signs of health, but also vital for learning and social bonding. In the vast, unpredictable ocean, these adaptations and social strategies are the keys to survival, ensuring that the monumental lives of whales continue to shape the blue heart of our planet. At the southernmost reaches of our planet, where the sun barely skims the horizon and the sea is a shifting mosaic of ice and shadow, the Antarctic Ocean is ruled by a masterful predator, the killer whale, or orca. Here, in a world sculpted by wind and cold, these apex hunters thrive in a realm few creatures dare to call home. Orcas in Antarctica are not solitary wanderers. They are the heart of intricate family pods, each led by a wise matriarch whose memory guides the group through the ever-changing seascape. These pods are tight-knit, with bonds forged over decades, and every member plays a role in the survival of the whole. Communication is constant. Clicks, whistles, and pulsed calls echo beneath the ice, weaving a tapestry of sound unique to each pod. These vocalizations are more than mere noise. They are the language of culture, a living record of hunting strategies, migration routes, and family history, passed from elders to calves. Each pod develops its own hunting traditions, tailored to the icy labyrinths and the prey that inhabit them. Some pods specialize in fish, others in seals, or even the swift minke whale. This diversity of technique is a testament to their adaptability and intelligence, allowing multiple ecotypes to flourish side by side. Scientists have identified at least 4 distinct ecotypes of Antarctic orca, each with unique markings, behaviors, and dietary preferences. These differences are not just skin deep. They reflect generations of adaptation to the challenges of the polar sea. The formidable Type A orcas, largest of their kind, roam the open waters, their streamlined bodies built for speed as they pursue the elusive minke whale across vast distances. In contrast, the smaller Type C orcas slip silently through the dense pack ice, expertly navigating narrow leads and cracks to hunt Antarctic toothfish, a prize hidden deep beneath the frozen surface. But it is the Type B orcas who have become legends of the Antarctic. Their hunting displays are a marvel of cooperation and ingenuity, unmatched in the animal kingdom. Their signature move, wave washing, is a ballet of precision and timing. The pod assembles, each member taking a calculated position, their movements synchronized as if choreographed by an unseen hand. With powerful strokes, they generate a surge of water, sending a rolling wave crashing over the ice floe. The unsuspecting seal, once safe atop its frozen refuge, is swept into the sea, straight into the waiting jaws of the pod. This is not brute force, but a demonstration of collective intelligence. Each orca reads the subtle cues of its companions, adjusting speed and angle in real time, their success dependent on flawless teamwork and trust. Before the hunt, orcas spy hop, rising vertically from the water to scan the ice and pinpoint their prey. Their keen eyesight and acute hearing allow them to assess every detail, from the thickness of the floe to the alertness of the seal. Once the plan is set, the pod glides into formation, each member aligning perfectly. The water churns as they surge forward, their bodies slicing through the frigid sea in unison, the wave building with every synchronized beat of their tails. Young orcas learn by watching and imitating, practicing alongside their elders. Mistakes are met with patience, and every successful hunt is a lesson in the art of survival, passed down through generations. These animals are not driven by instinct alone. They observe, analyze, and adapt, refining their strategies with each encounter. Their intelligence is evident in every calculated move, every shared glance, every silent signal beneath the ice. Yet even in this frozen kingdom, orcas are not without rivals. The Antarctic is a stage for constant competition, where every meal is hard-won and every advantage is fleeting. Leopard seals, swift and cunning, lurk at the edges of the hunt, ready to snatch away a hard-earned prize. The struggle for survival is relentless, and only the most resourceful endure. But the greatest challenge is not a rival predator, but the changing world itself. The ice that shapes their lives is vanishing, melting away under the relentless advance of a warming climate. As the sea ice retreats, the very foundation of their hunting grounds is eroded. Prey becomes scarce, and the ancient strategies that once guaranteed survival are tested as never before. The encroaching noise of distant engines further disrupts the delicate balance, masking the subtle sounds orcas rely on to communicate and hunt, fracturing the silence of their underwater world. In this stark and beautiful wilderness, the fate of Antarctica's killer whales is bound to the fate of the ice itself. Their story is one of resilience, ingenuity, and the enduring power of family, a testament to nature's ability to adapt, even at the edge of the world. As dawn breaks over the endless Serengeti, the land stirs with ancient rhythms. Herds of wildebeest, zebras, and gazelles move as one, their hooves drumming a symphony that has echoed for millennia. Each animal, from the smallest insect to the towering giraffe, is a thread in the tapestry of life, woven together by the invisible bonds of survival, competition, and cooperation. Far to the south, beneath the frozen ceiling of the Antarctic Ocean, a different drama unfolds. Here, orcas glide through icy waters, their calls reverberating through the deep. Seals rest on shifting floes, ever watchful for the shadow of a predator. In this world of extremes, every creature is finely tuned to the pulse of its environment. The wildebeest, driven by instinct and memory, embark on a migration that tests the limits of endurance. Their journey is perilous, rivers swollen with crocodiles, plains stalked by lions, yet their passage nourishes the land, their hooves aerating the soil, their droppings fertilizing the grass that sustains countless others. In the ocean, orcapods demonstrate a mastery of strategy. Each hunt is a lesson in teamwork, coordinated, precise, and relentless. Their intelligence shapes the fate of prey and predator alike, maintaining the delicate balance of marine life. Across the arid savannas, the desert rhino moves with quiet determination. Scarce water and sparse vegetation demand resilience. The rhino's grazing patterns sculpt the landscape, opening pathways for new growth and providing shelter for smaller creatures. Every animal, from the elusive pangolin to the mighty elephant, is a keystone in its ecosystem. Their lives are interwoven. Predators keep populations in check, grazers shape the land, scavengers recycle nutrients. Remove one, and the entire system trembles. Consider the whale, whose immense body is a vessel of life. As it swims, it stirs the ocean, mixing nutrients from the depths to the surface. Its waste feeds blooms of phytoplankton, the foundation of the marine food web. These microscopic drifters, invisible to the naked eye, generate oxygen and absorb carbon, sustaining life far beyond the sea. When a whale's journey ends, its body descends to the abyss, nourishing a hidden world. Deep-sea scavengers gather, feasting for decades on this unexpected bounty. The whale's final gift is carbon locked away in the darkness, helping to cool the planet above. Around these sunken giants, new communities arise. Strange fish, ghostly octopuses and bacteria that thrive where sunlight never reaches. Yet, for many, survival is a daily struggle. The pangolin, armored and shy, evades predators with ancient instincts, but cannot escape the relentless pursuit of poachers. Elephants, matriarchs guiding their herds, find their paths blocked by fences and roads, their memories of ancient roots fading with each generation. The air grows thick with unfamiliar scents. Smoke, chemicals, noise, disrupting the senses that animals rely on to survive. Wildebeest, once free to roam, now hesitate at barriers, their migrations interrupted, their numbers dwindling. Forests shrink, grasslands fragment, and rivers run dry, leaving animals crowded into shrinking refuges. In the polar south, seals search for stable ice, their pups vulnerable to the warming sea. Orcas, too, must adapt, their hunting grounds shifting with the melting flows. The desert rhino, once a master of scarcity, now faces droughts so severe that even the hardiest plants wither and waterholes vanish. Whales, navigating ancient routes, are disoriented by the thunder of passing ships. Their songs, once carried for miles, are drowned in a sea of noise. Plastic drifts through the currents, mistaken for food, entangling fins and filling bellies with poison. The rhino, its horn coveted, faces a silent threat in the night. Elephants, too, mourn their fallen, their social bonds shattered by loss. For the animals, these changes are not statistics. They are lived realities, felt in every lost calf, every vanished watering hole, every broken herd. Coral reefs, once vibrant cities of colour and sound, now stand silent and pale, their inhabitants searching for shelter that no longer exists. In rare moments, predator and prey gather at the last remaining waterholes. A fragile truce born of necessity, a testament to the interconnectedness of all life. High in the mountains, the snow leopard treads softly, its territory shrinking as warming temperatures push prey ever higher into thinner air and harsher terrain. In the rainforest, monkeys leap from branch to branch, their calls echoing through the canopy. But each fallen tree is a lost highway, each cleared patch a vanished home. Yet, nature is resilient. Where forests are allowed to regrow, life returns, birds nest, insects pollinate, and the chorus of the wild resumes. In the ocean, protected sanctuaries offer a refuge. Here, fish populations rebound. Coral polyps build new reefs and sharks patrol healthy waters. In the Antarctic, boundaries drawn in the ice shield krill swarms and penguin colonies, preserving the base of the food chain for generations to come. Where poaching is stopped, rhino calves nurse in safety, and elephant herds trumpet in celebration, their future no longer shadowed by fear. In protected reserves, the black rhino reclaims its territory, marking the land with ancient trails, its presence a sign of hope for all who share its home. Some species, like the beaver, engineer their own recovery, damming streams, creating wetlands, and inviting a cascade of life to return. The wisdom of the wild is written in every adaptation, every migration, every call in the night. Animals sense the shifting winds, the changing seasons, and respond with ingenuity and grace. but the pace of change is accelerating. For many, adaptation is not enough. The balance that has endured for eons is tipping, and with it the fate of entire worlds. Ecosystems once in harmony now teeter on the edge. Predators without prey, pollinators without flowers, rivers without fish. The ancient contest between predator and prey is overshadowed by a new struggle, the race to survive in a world transformed. Floods, fires and storms sweep across the land, reshaping habitats in moments, leaving survivors to rebuild from the ashes. The lion, king of the savannah, and the whale, sovereign of the sea, now share a common destiny, one shaped by forces beyond their control. The zebra's stripes blur as it runs, a living testament to the wild's enduring beauty, but also its fragility. The air they breathe, the water they drink, the land they roam, these are the gifts of a balanced world, sustained by the quiet labor of countless creatures. Where animals thrive, so too does the land. Herds move in synchrony, forests echo with song, and the oceans teem with life. The wonder of the wild is not just in its spectacle, but in its resilience, the ability to heal, to adapt, to endure. Every animal saved, every habitat restored, is a victory for the whole, a step toward restoring the balance that sustains us all. The future of the wild depends on the choices made by its inhabitants. In every act of care, every adaptation, every alliance, the story of survival continues. Conservation is not just a human endeavor. It is the collective will of the wild to persist, to flourish, and to remind us that the fate of all life is bound together, now and forever. As the sun dips below the horizon, the African wilderness is transformed. Daylight's fierce heat yields to the cool embrace of night, and a new cast of characters emerges, creatures whose lives are defined by darkness. In these hours, the savannah is a different world, ruled by the senses of those who thrive when others sleep. The aardvark, solitary and secretive, leaves its burrow under the cover of dusk. Guided by a keen sense of smell, it snuffles through the grasses, seeking the faintest trace of termites beneath the earth. With powerful claws, it excavates tunnels in search of its quarry, each movement measured and silent. The aardvark's long, sticky tongue flicks rapidly, gathering thousands of insects in a single night, its survival dependent on patience and precision. Nearby, a pair of bush babies leap through the acacia trees. Their enormous eyes, adapted to the faintest glimmer of starlight, scan for moths and beetles. Every jump is calculated, every landing cushioned by nimble fingers and padded feet. They communicate in high-pitched calls, their voices weaving through the darkness, warning of danger or calling to a mate. On the ground, the African civet prowls the undergrowth. Its black and white markings are a warning to would-be predators, but under the cloak of night its camouflage is nearly perfect. The civet's world is one of scents, marking territories, tracking prey and avoiding rivals. It moves with stealth, pausing to sniff the air before pouncing on an unsuspecting frog or beetle. Each meal is a triumph in a world where food is hard-won and competition is fierce. In the open plains, the bat-eared fox listens intently. Its oversized ears capture the subtlest rustle of insects in the grass, the scuttle of a beetle or the faint chirp of a cricket. The fox's family forages together, each member alert to every sound. Their coordinated efforts increase their chances of survival, a testament to the power of cooperation even in the darkest hours. Above, the nightjar glides silently, its mottled wings blending with the shadows. It hunts on the wing, snatching moths mid-flight, its calls a haunting echo across the savannah. In the stillness, its presence is almost ghostly, seen only in fleeting glimpses, heard in the hush between the sounds of the night. For the nocturnal world, danger is never far. The spotted hyena, matriarch of the night, leads her clan across the grasslands. Their laughter rings out, a sound both eerie and triumphant. Hyenas rely on acute hearing and a sense of smell to locate carrion, or track the movements of rival predators. Their jaws, the strongest in the savannah, can crack bone and feast on what others leave behind. Every hunt, every meal is a test of endurance and wits. Even the smallest creatures play their part. Dung beetles navigate by the stars, rolling their precious cargo across the sand. Their journey is perilous, threatened by ants, birds, and the elements. Yet each night they persist, guided by celestial maps invisible to the day-dwellers. In this world of shadows, survival is a dance of adaptation. Eyes widen to gather light, ears stretch to capture whispers, and instincts sharpen to meet the challenges of the night. Here, the rules are rewritten, and every creature is both hunter and hunted, shaped by the demands of darkness. As dawn approaches, the nocturnal world retreats. The aardvark returns to its burrow. The bush babies nestle in tree hollows, and the civet melts into the thicket. Their secrets remain, written in tracks on the dew-soaked earth, waiting for another night to unfold. In the African wilderness, the story of survival is never-ending, told in daylight and in darkness, in silence and in song. Each night beneath the stars a hidden realm awakens, revealing the extraordinary resilience of life in the shadows. Beneath the surface of tropical seas, where sunlight filters through aquamarine water, lies one of nature's most intricate creations, the coral reef. This submerged metropolis is a sanctuary of vivid color and constant motion, built stone by living stone over centuries by tiny coral polyps. Each coral colony is a bustling neighborhood, its architecture shaped by competition, cooperation, and survival. Within this labyrinth, the relationships between species are as complex as the reef itself. The clownfish and sea anemone form an alliance that is both defensive and opportunistic. The clownfish, immune to the anemone's venom, finds shelter among its tentacles, gaining protection from predators. In return, the clownfish wards off intruders and provides scraps of food, ensuring the anemone's health. Their partnership is a delicate balance, maintained by constant interaction and mutual benefit. Elsewhere, a cleaner wrasser sets up its station atop a coral outcrop. Larger fish, from parrotfish to groupers, queue patiently, awaiting the wrasser's meticulous service. The cleaner wrasser nibbles away parasites and dead tissue, offering relief and hygiene. For the cleaner, each client is a meal. For the visitors, a vital maintenance service. Trust is essential. Predators must resist instinct, and cleaners must work swiftly, as the line never ends. But danger is ever present. A moray eel weaves through the coral's crevices, its slender body perfectly adapted for ambush. The eel's sharp teeth and powerful jaws make it a formidable hunter, but it is not alone in its pursuit. Octopuses glide across the reef, their bodies changing color and texture in an instant. Masters of disguise, they outwit both prey and predator, squeezing into impossibly narrow gaps to evade detection or launch a surprise attack. Above, shimmering schools of antheas swirl in coordinated patterns. Their movements a dazzling defense against hunters. Each fish relies on the group for safety, their unity confusing predators and diluting individual risk. Yet, lurking in the shadows, the lionfish, an invader with venomous spines, waits for a moment of weakness, its presence a reminder of the reef's vulnerability to outsiders. As night descends, the reef transforms. Daytime residents retreat into coral alcoves, while nocturnal hunters emerge. Crustaceans scuttle across the sand, and cuttlefish stalk shrimp with hypnotic undulations. Bioluminescent plankton flicker in the darkness, lighting the way for unseen travelers. Here, every moment is a negotiation between predator and prey, symbiont and host, the strong and the swift. The coral reef is more than a habitat, it is a living city, shaped by the ingenuity and resilience of its inhabitants. In the endless cycles of cooperation, competition, and adaptation, life on the reef endures, a testament to the wonders hidden beneath the waves. In the far reaches of the northern hemisphere, where daylight fades for months and temperatures plunge below freezing, the Arctic emerges as a realm defined by its relentless winter. Here, survival hinges not on brute strength, but on resourcefulness and adaptation. Beneath the pale glow of the aurora, the Arctic fox dons its thickest, pure white coat, a seamless cloak against the snow. This insulation traps precious heat, while the fox's compact body and short limbs conserve energy. Food is scarce, so the fox follows polar bears across the ice, scavenging leftovers from abandoned seal hunts. Each poor step is calculated, minimizing exposure to the wind's biting edge. On the sea ice, the polar bear reigns, its fur translucent and hollow, channeling sunlight to black skin beneath. An ingenious, natural solar panel. The bear's immense bulk is a reservoir of fat, sustaining it through months without a meal. With the ocean frozen, the bear waits patiently by breathing holes, alert to the faintest exhale of a seal. Precision and patience are its greatest weapons. Meanwhile, the Arctic hare huddles in shallow depressions etched into the snow, its ears tucked close to reduce heat loss. In groups, they share warmth, and when danger nears, their powerful hind legs propel them across the tundra in explosive bursts. Speed is their shield against Arctic wolves that prowl the endless white. Beneath the ice, the narwhal navigates the labyrinth of shifting flows. Its streamlined body and specialized hemoglobin allow it to dive deep, extracting oxygen from frigid waters where few others can survive. Overhead, the snowy owl glides silently, its vision attuned to the faintest movement below. Even in perpetual twilight, it can spot a lemming scurrying across the frozen ground, its talons closing in with silent precision. Each species has carved out a niche, employing unique strategies to outlast the darkness and cold. Some, like the lemming, remain active beneath the snowpack, tunneling through the insulated world between ground and ice. Others, like the muskox, form defensive circles, their dense coats and communal strength fending off both wind and predators. In this landscape of scarcity and silence, every adaptation is a lifeline. The Arctic winter demands ingenuity, endurance, and a quiet resilience. Here, life persists, undaunted by the cold, thriving in the white silence at the edge of the world. Beneath the emerald canopy of the Amazon rainforest, sunlight filters through in scattered shafts, painting the forest floor in shifting patterns of light and shade. Here, in the world's largest tropical wilderness, survival is a constant negotiation, one that relies on stealth, specialization, and silent communication. High above, the three-toed sloth moves with deliberate slowness, its algae-streaked fur blending perfectly with moss-laden branches. This languid pace is not laziness, but a calculated survival strategy. By minimizing movement, the sloth avoids detection by harpy eagles, the forest's formidable aerial hunters. Each day, the sloth's world is contained within a single tree, its hooked claws anchoring it even as storms shake the canopy. Hidden among the leaves, the glass frog reveals another form of invisibility. Its translucent skin exposes beating organs, making it nearly indistinguishable from the wet green leaves it clings to. At night, the male's gentle calls ripple through the understory, luring mates while risking the attention of hungry snakes. On the forest floor, the jaguar, silent and unseen, prowls the tangled undergrowth. Stealth is its greatest weapon. Padded paws press noiselessly into the leaf litter as it stalks peccaries and capybaras. When it strikes, it does so with lightning speed, its powerful jaws able to pierce even the armored shell of a river turtle. Within the labyrinth of buttress roots, the poison dart frog broadcasts its presence in a stark contrast of color, electric blue, vivid yellow, or crimson. This audacious display is a warning to would-be predators. Its skin secretes toxins potent enough to deter even the boldest hunter. Yet the frogs, young, vulnerable, and unprotected, rely on the parents' cunning. Some mothers deposit tadpoles in tiny pools held by bromeliads high in the canopy, each a miniature nursery safe from terrestrial dangers. As dusk falls, the Amazon transforms again. The leaf-cutter ants emerge in endless columns, harvesting fragments to cultivate a hidden fungus deep within their underground cities. Each ant's role is determined by size and caste, and together they perform one of the most complex forms of cooperation in the animal kingdom. In this shadowed world, survival is a subtle dance. Camouflage, mimicry, and intricate family bonds all play their part. The rainforest is alive with secrets, each species carving out its existence in the perpetual twilight beneath the trees. Here, in the Amazon, life thrives not by dominance but by adaptation and the quiet mastery of the forest's boundless mysteries. Above the tangled jungles, vast deserts, and endless oceans, a silent passage unfolds, one of nature's most extraordinary odysseys. Migratory birds, driven by ancient instincts, traverse continents in search of food, safety, and the promise of new life. Their journeys begin in distant breeding grounds, icy tundras, temperate forests, or sun-drenched grasslands, where the first stirrings of change set millions of wings in motion. The Arctic tern, slight and unassuming, is the unrivaled champion of migration. Each year it charts a course from the frozen Arctic Circle to the sunlit shores of Antarctica, a round trip of nearly 50,000 miles. Along the way, it rides the high winds, skimming over storm-lashed seas and barren stretches of land, guided by the stars and the subtle pull of Earth's magnetic fields. For these birds, the journey is as much about endurance as it is about navigation. Only the resilient survive the relentless pace and the perils of predation. In the African savanna, the Amur falcon's migration is no less astonishing. Born in the forests of eastern Asia, these raptors cross the breadth of the Indian subcontinent and the vast waters of the Indian Ocean, braving exhaustion and tempests to reach their wintering grounds in southern Africa. Their flight, executed in tight-knit flocks, is a testament to both individual strength and the power of collective movement. High above the Himalayas, bar-headed geese defy the limits of physiology, soaring at altitudes where the air is thin and the cold is punishing. Their wings beat steadily as they pass over snow-clad peaks, their bodies fueled by a metabolism optimized for low-oxygen flight. Below, the world is silent, a tapestry of rivers and ridges glimpsed through veils of cloud. But not all migrations are measured in epic distances. In the tangled mangroves and sunlit wetlands, sandpipers and plovers undertake shorter yet equally perilous journeys, weaving a global web of stopover sites, each one a critical sanctuary where they refuel and rest. Here, the fate of entire populations hinges on the health of fragile habitats, each link in the chain essential for survival. As dusk settles over the land, flocks gather in murmuring waves, their synchronized flight painting shifting patterns against the twilight sky. In these airborne caravans, every wing beat is a story of endurance, memory, and the unbroken thread that ties distant worlds together. For migratory birds, the journey never truly ends. It is a cycle as old as time, a testament to the resilience and wonder of life on the move. Beneath the emerald canopy of the rainforest, where sunlight filters through a mosaic of leaves and the air hums with life, a quieter drama unfolds. Here, amphibians, masters of adaptation, carve out their existence in a world defined by both abundance and peril. Frogs, salamanders, and caecilians slip through the undergrowth, their bodies perfectly attuned to the ever-shifting balance of moisture and shade. The glass frog, translucent as morning dew, clings to the underside of broad leaves above rushing streams, its skin, so clear that beating hearts and developing eggs are visible, offers camouflage from predators lurking above and below. Every night, males gather at water's edge and release a chorus of calls, each note a declaration of territory and hope for a mate. In the tangled root systems, the poisoned dart frog stands out in a blaze of warning colors, vivid blues, yellows, and reds. These tiny amphibians harbor potent toxins, a defense crafted from the rainforest's own chemical tapestry. Their skin is both shield and signal, a message to would-be predators that danger lies within. Yet in the safety of their miniature realms, they tend to their young with remarkable care, carrying newly hatched tadpoles on their backs to hidden pools high in the canopy. Elsewhere, the leaf-littered floor conceals the remarkable axolotl, a salamander that never fully leaves its aquatic youth behind. Equipped with feathery external gills and an uncanny ability to regenerate lost limbs, it thrives in slow-moving streams, a living testament to resilience in the face of constant change. Amphibians are masters of microhabitat, seeking refuge in bromeliads, burrows, and the damp hollows of fallen logs. Some have evolved skin that absorbs water directly from the air, while others lay eggs in the protective embrace of curled leaves, safe from flooding rains and hungry mouths. Yet the rainforest is no paradise without its challenges. Shifting weather, fluctuating temperatures, and the ever-present threat of predation demand constant vigilance. For these amphibians, survival depends on a delicate dance, one choreographed by millions of years of evolution, and played out in the hidden world beneath the leaves. In their silent persistence, amphibians remind us that even the smallest creatures hold the keys to life's enduring mysteries. Their adaptations are a testament to nature's ingenuity, a quiet triumph in the heart of the rainforest. Beneath every stone, within every fold of bark, and across every climate on Earth, a vast and intricate world thrives, largely unseen, yet essential to every ecosystem. This is the realm of insects, the tireless engineers, architects, and survivors whose numbers outstrip all other animals combined. Their diversity is staggering, from the iridescent wings of rainforest beetles to the cryptic camouflage of desert mantises. In the grasslands, armies of ants march in disciplined columns, harvesting seeds and constructing labyrinthine nests that regulate temperature and humidity with astonishing precision. Each ant is a cog in a superorganism capable of overwhelming prey many times their size, or defending against invaders with coordinated ferocity. Nearby, the dung beetle transforms waste into nourishment, rolling its precious cargo across the savannah, an unheralded act of recycling that sustains the soil and, by extension, the entire food web. Within temperate forests, caterpillars don elaborate disguises, some mimicking twigs or bird droppings, others brandishing toxic hairs or eye spots to startle would-be predators. When danger looms, click beetles snap their bodies to launch themselves out of harm's way, while assassin bugs wield needle-like mouthparts to subdue prey in silent ambush. In the arid expanse of deserts, insects have mastered the art of water conservation. The Namib Desert's fog-basking beetle climbs sand dunes at dawn, collecting droplets on its textured back, which then channel precious water directly to its mouth. Meanwhile, desert locusts, when conditions permit, unleash one of nature's most spectacular migrations, transforming from solitary individuals to a synchronized swarm that darkens the sky, a testament to adaptability on a colossal scale. High in the rainforest canopy, leafcutter ants cultivate subterranean fungus gardens, farming their own food in perfect darkness. Elsewhere, orchid bees gather fragrant oils, pollinating rare flowers in an intricate dance of mutual benefit. Even in the frozen silence of the tundra, springtails and snow fleas leap across icy expanses, their bodies fortified with anti-freeze proteins to withstand the cold. Every adaptation is a response to challenge armor against jaws, mimicry against sight, chemical warfare against scent. Some insects wield venom, others produce light, fireflies signaling through the night in complex patterns, each flash a coded message for mates and rivals. Insects are the ultimate survivors, their evolutionary ingenuity woven into the fabric of every ecosystem. They pollinate, decompose, defend and build, often unseen, but never unimportant. In their hidden world, the art of survival is written in miniature, a silent saga that sustains life on Earth. Beneath the sunlit waves, past the reach of light and warmth, lies a world more alien than any on land, the abyssal depths of the ocean. Here, at crushing pressures and near-freezing temperatures, life has evolved in forms as bizarre as they are ingenious. In perpetual darkness, predators and prey alike have mastered the art of survival in ways unimaginable at the surface. The vampire squid drifts with outstretched arms, its cloak-like webbing unfurling to snare drifting detritus. Unlike its name suggests, it feeds on marine snow, a constant rain of organic particles from above, gathering nourishment in a realm where food is scarce. Nearby, the gulper eel's enormous mouth can engulf prey half its size, its body able to expand like a balloon to accommodate a sudden meal. Bioluminescence is the language of the deep. Lanternfish pulse with blue-green light, signaling to mates or confusing would-be predators. The anglerfish dangles a glowing lure from its forehead, attracting the curious only to reveal a mouth lined with needle-like teeth. In these depths, light is both a weapon and a shield, used to hunt, to hide, or to communicate in the endless night. The pressure here is immense, over 1,000 times that of the surface. Yet, creatures like the snailfish and amphipods thrive, their bodies uniquely adapted with flexible bones and specialized proteins that resist crushing forces. Giant isopods scuttle across the seafloor, scavenging the remains of whales and fish that drift down from above, turning decay into sustenance. Some, like the yeti crab, cluster around hydrothermal vents, oases of warmth and minerals on the ocean floor. Here, life is sustained not by sunlight, but by chemosynthesis. Bacteria convert toxic chemicals into energy, forming the base of a food web that supports strange communities of tube worms, shrimp and mollusks. These vents flare and fade, and with them entire ecosystems rise and vanish in the darkness. In the abyss, eyes are often unnecessary, replaced by heightened senses of touch, taste or vibration. The tripod fish perches on long, delicate fins, feeling for the faintest movement of prey in the water. The glass squid, nearly invisible, relies on transparency for camouflage, its organs shielded from hungry eyes by mirrored tissues. Adaptation is the law of survival here. Every creature is a testament to life's tenacity, thriving in a world without sunlight, where the rules are written in darkness and the unknown stretches on forever. In the ocean's abyss, the art of survival is a story of extremes, where every heartbeat is a triumph and every moment a mystery. High above the tree line, where the air thins and the world narrows to rock, ice and sky, life endures against the odds. The Alpine heights are a realm of extremes, bitter winds, sudden blizzards, and temperatures that plummet far below freezing. Yet here, on the jagged shoulders of mountains, a select caste of animals has mastered the art of survival. The snow leopard, ghostly and elusive, blends seamlessly into the dappled shadows of rugged cliffs. With powerful limbs and a long, balancing tail, it navigates treacherous slopes in silent pursuit of blue sheep and ibex. Each leap is calculated, each hunt a test of patience and precision. Nearby, the Himalayan tahr grazes on sparse tufts of grass, its thick woolly coat a shield against the biting cold. Herds traverse perilous ledges in search of nourishment, their hooves uniquely adapted to grip the loose scree and icy outcrops. In the European Alps, the Alpine ibex ascends near vertical walls with astonishing agility, defying gravity to escape predators and reach mineral-rich licks. Their curved horns and sturdy frames are the result of generations shaped by the relentless environment. Even smaller creatures carve out niches in this inhospitable world. The pika, a distant relative of rabbits, gathers and dries wildflowers and grasses, storing them beneath rocks to fuel the long winter. Its high-pitched alarm call echoes across the valleys, a warning of danger from above. The golden eagle soars on updrafts, its keen eyes scanning the slopes for marmots or chamois. It is a master of patience, riding the wind for hours before stooping in a breathtaking dive. Weather in the alpine zone is unpredictable. Storms can sweep in with little warning, blanketing the ground in snow and ice. Many animals have evolved seasonal behaviors, hibernating, migrating to lower elevations, or growing thicker fur. The mountain hare, for instance, dons a white winter coat, becoming nearly invisible against the snow. Amid these stark peaks, every adaptation is a lesson written in resilience. Life here is a balance between risk and reward, where each day brings new challenges, and survival is a triumph of ingenuity and endurance. In the world above the world, the animals of the Alpine heights remind us that even in the harshest places, life finds a way to persist. Beneath the shadow of smouldering peaks, where the earth trembles and the air shimmers with heat, life persists against a backdrop of fire and ash. Volcanic regions are realms of constant upheaval, where rivers of molten rock reshape the land, and toxic gases drift on the wind. Yet even here, nature's resilience is on full display. On the slopes of active volcanoes, specialized plants are the first pioneers. Hardy mosses and lichens colonize fresh lava flows, drawing nutrients from the bare rock and forging the first threads of a new ecosystem. Their presence paves the way for more complex life as tufts of fireweed and silversword take root in the mineral-rich soil, exploiting the warmth and unique chemistry of the volcanic earth. Among the rocks, the Galapagos lava lizard scurries in quick bursts, its speckled scales blending with the charred ground. It basks on sun-baked stones, absorbing heat to fuel its agile hunts for insects that thrive in the nutrient-laden ash. When danger approaches, the lizard vanishes into narrow crevices, safe from both predators and sudden surges of heat. In Iceland, the Arctic fox prowls the cooled lava fields, its thick fur insulating against the geothermal warmth that seeps from fissures below. These foxes exploit pockets of life around steaming vents, preying on birds and scavenging the remains of creatures drawn to the volcanic bounty. High in the Andes, the Andean flamingo congregates in saline lakes formed by ancient eruptions. Here, volcanic minerals enrich the water, supporting vast blooms of algae, the flamingo's primary food source. Adapted to caustic waters, their specialized bills filter nourishment from the briny shallows, turning adversity into opportunity. Even underground, life flourishes. In the darkness of lava tubes, blind cave crickets and troglodytic beetles have evolved to survive without sunlight, feeding on fungal mats that thrive in the damp, mineral-rich tunnels. Volcanoes are unpredictable. Eruptions can erase landscapes in moments. Yet each eruption also seeds the future, scattering nutrients and creating new terrain for life to conquer. The animals of volcanic regions are masters of adaptation, their survival a testament to evolution's creativity in the face of relentless change. On the edge of fire, the struggle for existence is fierce, but it is here that some of the planet's most remarkable survivors carve out their place, forever shaped by the living earth beneath their feet.